Oh,
Well,
okay, I
we
got
are
it.
live
Okay, not sharing
on the
that.
rest of the internet. Sorry, guys.
Discard. Oh, you went live.
Yeah, I didn't realize I did that. So we're just gonna
Okay,
go ahead and say
okay.
what's up, kids.
You like my forehead? This is how
God,
Gat
this is
Snapchats me
shut
all
the
the
fuck.
time.
I knew that was coming. I knew you
Th-
were gonna have to say something like, "This is how Gat sends me your face all the time."
Yeah, this is how I know Gat's alive. I just get her forehead. We're gonna do a tool time stream today.
Hell yeah.
I am the guy.
I'm like trying to mess with the color, and I just have this really bright red nose, and I think it's because of my orange hat. I don't think I can escape that.
Yeah, it's probably reflecting down. I have pink.
That's cool. I'm like trying to figure out how I can. I don't think it's possible. Sorry, kids. I might
Hold
go
on,
black and white
because
today.
you didn't tell me that. Oh, how classy of you.
Like, who is this? That looks like I'm in a time machine. Where's my phone? Oh, it's up here, where I left it
That's
for
not...
our Instagram live.
You
Maybe
literally were just on it.
I know, but this is like my problem lately. I forget that I have a phone, and I'll just leave it places, and I'll just be like, "Where did it go? I was just
Oh my
using it."
gosh.
It's cool.
You're so old.
I think I aged a little bit the last few days.
Probably.
It's not by choice.
It's not by choice.
Like, that's what I think everybody is here for, is to hear the story about why I have a special needs dog in my house.
Oh yes, we are so excited
I don't
for
know
it.
if we are. Well, I'm excited. Okay, that's what I was like on the way over here. I just left Megan's house, so that's why I was running a little bit late. And I had the world's best Uber driver, and you and I are very much similar. Like, when we have our alone time in the car, like, it's very much sacred to us. Do you
Mm-hmm.
want to move away from your forehead, or are you just gonna leave it like that?
No, this
Okay,
is
this is you
what we're
now.
doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Uber driver was quiet, and it was the greatest thing ever because I just love quiet car rides. It's very, very nice. It's therapeutic to just sit there and not have to talk to someone.
Yeah, no pressure. And you don't have to focus because you're not driving. Like,
I've been driving a
it's
lot
beautiful.
lately, and it is exhausting.
Okay,
Come
fix it.
on. Gotta get back to my princess life.
You have been driving since you got your fancy car. You're not taking Ubers as much.
God damn it. I just signed out of the account that I just logged back into my own personal account instead of Sprots 6 twice.
On what?
Happy Monday. Twitter.
Twitter?
Twitter. But yeah, we got makeup free Monday is what I've decided to go with. Sorry,
Oh,
guys.
I did not do that. But I'm here for it.
It's just such a jolt from like being done up all weekend to
Yeah,
having this. So I apologize.
I would have not put on makeup. Does that count?
Yeah, I think the fact that you would like to not put on makeup makes it
Yeah.
better.
My face
Makes
is
it
like,
good.
maybe we need a day off.
Maybe just one.
Maybe.
Yeah, because we've been, in case you guys have missed it, we've been everywhere.
We've been everywhere, man.
How was your Mother's Day? What'd you guys do?
As number one mom,
Yes.
I did nothing. What did I do yesterday? Literally nothing. I think I was sick. I was sleeping. So that's what I did. What did you do?
Well, I mean, I am a mother, so
Yeah.
did Mother's Day brunch with the kids. Had a really fun time. Went to my mom's house. My mom went all out, and so did my dad. And like, I don't know why, because I feel like I've been like a worse child lately to
Hmm.
them. Um, oh, okay.
What?
I guess EJ Manuel just retired from the Chiefs, so um, our good buddy who never really had that great of a career, the backup, is now
What does it
retiring.
say? I don't even know who that is.
You're welcome, guys. Da 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 da. Aren't you guys
Breaking news.
glad that I have my fucking alerts on for that?
I am.
EJ Manuel, Florida State, I believe. Yeah, pretty sure he went to Florida State. I'm bad at remembering people that like. I mean, I'm if like RG3 because he made such a spectacle of himself from his quarterback. Plus, he was in
Mm.
like Big 12. I can remember that, but sometimes these obscure guys, I'm just like, wait, where did you go again?
It's not Dick Flop. I don't care.
Yeah, Dick Flop's the best. He can't retire. He's too good. All right, Helen Keller dog story. It started on Friday though. This or
Well,
no
I feel like
Saturday.
we'll just. No, that's fine. Yes, we'll jump ahead. Mother's Day, so you went to brunch at your mom's house
Yeah,
and they bought way too much stuff.
and it was awesome. And then after that, since it is Mother's Day, I'm like, I'm gonna go do whatever I want to do, which I went tanning, and I met up with some friends at the Peanut. And then I proceeded to be a very angry human being for the rest of the day.
Hmm.
Um, because I was sitting there at the Peanut. This has nothing to do with the Helen Keller dog. We'll get to that. But I was sitting at the Peanut, and there's this group of like older people that actually said they graduated from Blue Valley in like 1988, right? So like old,
Right. Pre-glitter.
like yeah, pre glitter. 2 month old Gat was around, um, and the world was starting to become a better place until these
Right.
fuckers became adults and then turned into the demons of humans that they are today. So you
Okay.
can see how great this is going. I don't understand. Like, there's a difference to me if you catch up with a girlfriend. Like, if you and I get drinks, we talk shit, but we talk shit on things that are like, I don't know, vague concepts, like
Hmm.
people being dumb or things that have personally happened to us. I think it's like if things have happened directly to us, it's okay to fucking complain about it to your friend.
Right.
I'm not saying that's like an issue. I'm saying that this woman that I was witnessing at the Peanut with this group of men around her. I mean, she was dressed like maybe somebody half her age, had a nose ring,
Oh, wow.
got so many faceless, but forgot about her neck. Like, dude, you had the neck of a 90-year-old, and so does your friend, but your face is like, "Ugh." And I'm like, okay, I've lived in Johns County my whole fucking life.
Hmm.
I've seen these women all the fucking time. They're vapid, they're miserable. They either got married too young or to the wrong person or didn't want
Right.
to have kids. It's not a traditional life for everyone. And that's
Fair.
okay. Some people don't need to have kids. You don't want to have kids, and that's awesome.
No.
You can have mine whenever you want. Just take them. And I think that's a beautiful friendship.
Yeah, for small periods of time.
As we're speaking right now, Steve is yelling to the special needs dog. All I hear is no. The dog is deaf, and I can't handle this right now. So we're just gonna go back to the crazy people.
Okay.
We've got these women that were just mad as hell. They were like, I guess for some reason somebody fucked somebody in their friend group, but don't worry,
Okay.
they are friends with all these people they're talking shit on, and they're using
Okay.
first last names, and I know two of them that they're talking about, and it's
Uh-oh.
not true what they're saying, and it's actually ruined this guy's life. What these people are like spreading around and laughing about, and then they're talking about their friend's wedding that they just went to and how great it is they're going to be miserable together for the rest of their lives, and how like she's fat and their wedding photos are ugly.
Oh my God.
This woman pulled up Facebook profile pictures for 45 goddamn minutes and pointed out flaws in other humans, and I was just, I mean, the bartenders were like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I am high as balls right now, and this
Hmm.
is what's going on." Like, I've never gotten this upset hearing somebody just be a horrible, nasty piece of shit human. And I asked
That is
her
ridiculous.
casually. I didn't do anything wrong. I did
Yeah.
not insult her. I go, "Wow, do you talk about all your friends like that?" And I looked around at her little friends. And by this point, the one haggard other lady that she was with had left. She was wearing
Right.
a crop halter top. It was probably 60. I'm like, you do you, but
Okay.
it looked trying too hard. It wasn't like, hey, I'm 60, I just want to live my life. It's like, hey, I think I still need to look like this, and you
All right.
don't.
Right.
It was just very forced. So I go, do you talk about all your friends like this? She said, excuse me. I'm like, I would, honest to God, hate to be your enemy if you talk about your friends like that.
Oh
You
my
just,
God.
and I was like, are you okay? Like, you seem very angry. She didn't appreciate that, but they left, and so did I. It was very
Hey.
anticlimactic,
Okay.
but I don't understand like that mentality. And I was having such a like happy day. It was a
Hmm.
very happy day, and then I got an afternoon to do whatever I wanted to myself. Hell yes, I'm all
Hell
about that.
yes.
So that was just, it was just a weird afternoon, and that was just a strange thing. But I don't think the bartenders have ever seen me be like that bothered by somebody before. Besides like racist people, then there's
Right.
Johnson County women that are just so fucking miserable and trying to bring everyone else down. It just killed me. I'm like, I'm so fucking zen. I can't even insult you.
Just gotta ask some questions.
I honest to God just want to know, are you okay, ma'am? Do you need a hug?
Why not? It worked.
I
I
would have
mean,
given her
she
one.
left.
She left on to the next bar to talk about how a dumb redneck bitch I was. I'm sure something like that. I'm sure. I don't know. Who cares?
Well, maybe just maybe you changed her life and she has changed her ways
I hope so, but
for a
knowing
week.
her, she looks like a pretty dumb bitch. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say, at least I'm not like that. At least I can just like be happy for other people ruining their lives slowly. Like, do your thing, not my
Okay,
problem.
that is true. That is how I like to live. You do you, and if it doesn't work out, okay.
Well, you've never been the type to be Captain Save a Ho. You have never had that problem. It seems like.
I'm not. No, I don't. I have no. I don't want you near me.
like,
Really.
like I don't really need you to be in my life or around. Like if you need help, that's great. I'll help you. It's not that you don't help your friends. You definitely do. You help me today. You help me every day. But it's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's just uncomfortable to just try to fix people all the time. And
Yeah. I know.
that's where we're at today. It's ruined Gat's life Monday, and Steve is taking home the prize.
Why is it ruined Gad's life? Well, I guess we don't need to go through all of it. What is Steve doing?
You know, Stevie's been promising to get a dog for the house for a long time, even though we've had a rescue dog, and it lasted 11 months. The dog bit my daughter, drew blood. Dog gets rehomed, but she's at an incredible home.
Yeah.
A vet student at Mizzou has her now. I get daily, not daily, but I used to get daily and like now like about weekly updates on how she's doing and how she's like still a escape artist. So I love dogs. I love them. I love your dogs. I love other people's
My
dogs.
dogs are perfect.
Your dogs, this was the strangest thing I've ever seen in my life. I pull up and the dogs are always in the window because they're like the nosy neighbors. Your dogs are.
They are.
And they're like, it's almost like they're hanging out on the porch, just like waiting for the neighborhood to like go into flames and they're just going to attack everyone.
They are. They're the old people like that sit outside the coffee shop and just like watch the neighborhood in New York City. That's my dogs.
You're like, okay, so this is your life. That's cool. I walked up and they were barking and you looked around, you came outside, you looked back at them and you go, stop. Not even yelling. You did not scream. You just said, stop. And they looked at you and they did. They stopped barking. I'm like, you are the mother of dragons.
They're afraid of me. Nah, they're not afraid of me, but
They love you and they respect you.
they like, yeah, they do respect me and they like to push the line until they're told not to, like their mother. So they will
What?
do anything they can until they're told no. And then once they're told no, they're like, oh, okay.
That's amazing. What up, Tito? We got hipster Tito in here, number one
I know.
Cleveland fan. Cleveland.
Cleveland.
He said you have to love dogs. Yeah, I don't. I love dogs. Dogs are make everything better. I'd love to have a dog. The problem is,
Well, congrats, you do now.
I have a dog now, and I've never felt better.
So Steve, like you said, he's been promising your daughter, who's young, a puppy. And Steve brought home not a puppy
No,
today.
no. Backstory on this puppy: 15 years old, blue or blind, don't know which one it is. Eyes, white boxer, so like an albino boxer, basically. I guess. Cannot see. Like very, very limited vision. Like we're talking like maybe a foot in front of its face. And can't hear.
Yeah.
So my house, I mean, I know who I am as a person. I'm a messy bitch. My life is messy. My house is not messy, but we pay someone to help out with that. It's cluttered. There's stuff everywhere, but it's like lived in. But there's 4 flights of stairs in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be rude to this dog, who I will just call Old Keller. Because I don't want to like expose this person because it's kind of a shit story. It has a shit owner and who's a shit person and can't stop getting in her own way as a human, is on a rehab for the 4th or 5th time, I think now. And don't worry, it's my dad's like friend's friend. So it's not even his. It's like a chick that he used to date. And now like we're going to play Captain Save-A-Ho by I guess I have her dog until she's sober, which the bitch hasn't been sober in 50 plus years. So I'm the new dog owner now.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with helping a dog. I'm okay with helping a dog because I love dogs. Like I said, I'm just not okay with the timing. I've got today alone has been insane. This week alone will be insane.
Hmm.
And it's just not the right time. So I would like to express that I do love dogs, but now I have basically a fourth child living in the house that I have to watch and make sure it doesn't, I don't know, fall down the stairs or something. What is it? What?
Yeah. Well, even like these dogs, obviously old dogs, I'm a big proponent on helping out those dogs and adopting them from shelters and stuff, but not when you have a child
Yeah.
that is too young to know like that dog's gonna die this year
Yeah. I'm
probably.
like, who gets a kid a 15-year-old dog? So that being said, I'm angry at the fact that this is now happening, but I'm happy to help a dog. I am not happy to help a stupid person that shouldn't have a dog, that is irresponsible and can't stop fucking up her life.
Right.
You're 50 years old. You're not my problem. Nothing changes. I said this today. It was like the worst thing that I could ever say. I was just like, nothing changes in my life if I don't do this. Like, not this. I don't want to say what is a benefit to me. I'm like, I guess I'm being a good
Right.
person, but oh my god, I'm a good person all the time. Leave me alone. Ugh.
Oh, you're a
I
disaster.
know. I can't.
But
It's
let's talk
messy.
about the part that we're missing here is that Steve was banging somebody 20 years younger than him.
Yeah.
Hot damn, Steve.
Dad doesn't mess around with his girlfriends, but it's funny because he's actually banged both of them. So I'm a little bit. It's a lot for me to deal with that his ex friend, ex whatever you want to call her,
Hmm.
maybe current, I don't know, introduced him to another one of her friends, and now he's banging that one, or he was,
Oh
but
gosh.
he stopped because she's unstable. And like this is the sixth time he's had to like help her, and so I'm like, you are no longer Captain Savaho, you are General Savaho, and
Definitely.
you are the Night King of Savaho.
So he's gonna die?
God, no, not die. I just hope the bullshit ends. Like, just
Okay.
stop raising up these people. Focus on yourself, because that was the biggest part of the problem of the Night King. If he just would have gone off and done his shit and not worried about taking over Westeros, then would have been fine.
That is true. That is true.
The point of that story is worry about your fucking self. Both of those stories. Focus on
Yes.
yourself and good things will happen. Like, you and I have stopped dealing with like trying to bring other people on board with us and trying to bring other people with us in this entrepreneurial journey of Sprout
Right.
Steaks. And it's so much easier. Worry
It
about
is.
yourself.
Well, because enough people don't do that, and we keep bringing on people that are not worried about themselves or trying to make themselves better. So,
There's a reason for that, obviously.
which we ran into one. We never talked about that on the show. We ran into one last weekend.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
What I don't know what there is to talk about. I guess that was a bad
Oh, I thought you were gonna have a
conversation starter.
you're like, yeah, let's talk about it. We ran into one. I was like, okay.
I was just meant we ran into an ex-employee of ours who has now moved
Ooh.
into my city.
Ooh, yeah, I kind of forgot about this. We never really recovered.
Yeah. So that was the end of it. It's not really. Some people leave in bad ways, and she is one of them.
It's interesting
Who,
to see the balls somebody has to come back to a city that they basically were chased out of for being a shit person, and try to succeed. I mean, good for you. Cajones really big. I wouldn't do that while Saturn's in retrograde. I'm just saying.
oh, that is true.
I've not posted a
That
single
is.
astrology meme in like 3 days on my.
I know. I think you're broken.
I might have started an astrology meme account.
Okay. What's it called?
I'm not
Do we get to
telling you.
follow it?
No, it's
Oh.
anonymous.
Oh.
I might tell you. I don't know because like I signed up for it with I didn't do a phone number, so hopefully like no one can like it always alerts you when it's like your contact has joined, and I'm
Yeah.
like, ew, why do you have my contacts?
Drives me nuts.
Back off.
Drives me nuts. All right. So Monday sucks, but Sunday was Mother's Day, and you had a fairly good Mother's Day
Yeah, it
anyway.
was incredible. I got so many flowers, so much food. I didn't drink because I was a little bit I would say tired of booze on Sunday
Fair.
morning, so it was just kind of like nice to have a relaxing. I had some orange juice because I wanted some actual orange juice without champagne in it. And I'm like, I don't
What
know
is
who I
that?
am, just being a big old adult here. Yup.
Hmm.
So, but no, Saturday was the day that we have been looking forward to for probably, I don't know, months now.
I don't know about months. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I have for sure. And yeah, we got to go to NASCAR on Saturday.
We did.
We did.
I still got my hat
We,
on.
I know.
You got,
Everybody
is
loved
that your
it.
bush hat? I can't see it.
It is my bush hat. It's really
Okay.
hard to read.
We're number one NASCAR bros. Look at us.
I know. This is the one I can't wear it in public, but I did realize that I can wear it on stream, so it doesn't look too small on
Oh
camera.
shit, it's like one of those tiny hats.
It's like super small back here. Like it's not made for female heads. It's a lady's hat and it's annoying, but whatever.
You bring up a good point because like we need to raise awareness that some women have big ass heads or big hair that need bigger hats.
Big hair for real. Like who has I mean, a lot of people have thin hair, but
We don't, so fuck you.
most women don't have thin hair, and if they do, they put in enough stuff to make it voluminous. So like it's stupid. I don't know why they make tiny hats. Women do not have tiny heads. Our heads are just as big, I feel like.
They are.
I know yours is. Big old Ninja Turtle head.
Yeah, got a big old head. It's hereditary. My dad has Kangol hats that can probably like be used for newborn photo shoots.
Oh my
So
God.
put a little baby in it. But you know, I don't think I think like I keep seeing all these scientific studies that babies with big heads are just smarter and better than people. So we're cool.
Oh,
We're just some
okay.
big headed smart bitches. It's cool.
Perfect.
I dig
Let's
it.
see. My sister said she has a huge head, so that makes sense.
She's very
She's
smart.
smart.
Yep.
And Brandon says your Truax Junior hat is fire. Heart eyes emoji.
Thank you.
So,
It's my favorite. We got okay, but like our NASCAR experience the first couple times, like the first couple times I went was very like still in the grandstands, still very much like okay, let's walk around and see what there is to do beforehand.
mhm.
Very chill. What happened this time?
This time was totally different. This was our VIP NASCAR experience, courtesy of Hollywood Casino. We hung out at Hollywood. We went to Turn 2 Bar until they closed it, which I didn't know that they did, but it makes sense knowing that now. But they closed it for the race so that you can't like watch it and not have a ticket,
Yeah,
which I get because Turn 2 Bar is literally on the track. Like
yeah,
you could see everything, and it's probably better seats, and plus you have like access to food and drinks immediately.
yeah,
So I get that, but really they should just sell tickets there. Maybe they do. I don't know. Um, so we hung out at Turn 2 for a while, and then we actually went down. We had some more time, so we went down to the Boulevard Bar in Hollywood Casino and hung out there with our friends.
yeah.
Uh, and then we parked at Hollywood, so we did not have to park at Kansas Speedway, which if you've ever parked there, it is all parking in grass, which grass is mud in the spring. Uh, and Gat has a brand new car. I have a piece of shit car. So neither one of us wanted to take those in the mud. And luckily, Hollywood gave us a ride in a fancy ass Escalade.
God, that sounds so. It was just so stressful, you know.
I know. We had to like walk outside for 5 seconds. We piled
Ah,
into an Escalade.
ah,
They drove us all the way up to the gate. Like we didn't have to walk anywhere.
no.
We were immediately on like the merch row that's right in front of the gates and stuff. So we kind of hung out there, checked it all out, creeped on this lady that had this really cool Chase Elliott jacket, and then we went right in. Like we were just immediately there, which is the most convenient thing ever. Because last time when I went in October, I had to park at least a mile away from the door
Yeah.
and walk through a shit ton of mud to even get there. So
And honest to God, it wasn't like parking at Hollywood Casino, like it wasn't possible. Anyone can park there. You get there
yeah,
early enough for the race. Like you can park in their parking garage and like they have shuttles all over the place to take you to and from. They do have a VIP shuttle, like an actual Hollywood Casino VIP shuttle, but like we were like VIP and had the securities manager take us to the race. Like here, what
right.
up, Cameron? Appreciate you.
Cameron,
We found
number
out he's a
one.
Taurus. So it's
Good.
perfect that he's a securities manager. And it was funny because like the entire time, no matter what we were doing, there was somebody watching us, making sure that we were having a good time and taken care of. And that was the most ultimate, like, it was just such a luxury to not have to worry about anything.
Nothing at all. Like they were everywhere. It was awesome.
Literally everywhere. Like, I guess the backstory, our buddy Al at Hollywood Casino, he's the VP there, is a great guy. And we've worked with it like around the same events. Like we've always gone to the same stuff, but like, he's never actually like, I've never asked him for anything because I'm like, you know, you're busy. Like, and I'm not really a casino person ish, but now I am because I never want to leave. I literally
Yeah,
told everyone I'm moving in.
that is true. You did tell more people than ever needed to know that you were moving in.
Yes, it was very exciting. But it's kind of hard to compete with that because when we got there, I walked in with you. We had our friends there, Corey and Daniel and his mom.
Hmm.
Daniel and his mom hadn't been to well, his mom hadn't been to a NASCAR race in 10 years. And Daniel hadn't gone before, so like they were just like, okay, let's do this for Mother's Day weekend. I was like, cool. And
Yeah,
Corey, crack, like I have to make a disclaimer, and he asked me yesterday. He's like, "Do I need to tell people that you were not being racist when you gave me the watermelon drink? I wanted the watermelon drink and I took it myself, and
yeah,
like then we were just joking about it. I'm like, you don't need to make a disclaimer. It's fine. My Snapchat was blowing up. Like, wow, what the fuck, Gat? Like they thought he was just some random person, or like I was
it's so
handing
funny.
him a water. I was like, come on, really? 2019. I'm not. Good God, whatever. I'm not even gonna entertain that. But it was funny because like we were all just you had a purse full of like fancy drinks.
Yeah,
You looked fancy. You I think were the only person there wearing glitter boots and a dress, and but it worked. It looked like speedy.
I looked speedy. I wasn't all black, so I did look like Panther sleek.
I liked it.
So
Go rob a bank like that. Like
I
be all
should,
Catwomanish.
should. Well, we were in the suite, so we didn't know. I mean, I knew that we would have to do minimal. I forgot about the pre-race stuff, which we'll get into, which probably would have been better to not have the outfit I had on. But
Nah.
um, if we did not go down to the pre-race package, everything was so easy. Like I said, we got dropped off at the door,
Yeah.
walked in, and we're inside for the whole race. So,
Yeah.
yeah, my outfit was suited for that, but not suited for the pre-race stuff. But yeah, so we went with Corey and Daniel and his mother. Daniel, right?
Yeah, you got it.
I don't know why that just felt wrong. Uh,
You're like, no, that can't be his name. I just said
we
it
did
all day
not give
Saturday.
Corey the watermelon drink because he's black. Corey chose that because he's black.
Yes. Yes, that's. I guess that's what I said. I just he chose it because he wanted it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he just
there you
wanted
go.
it. So that was my bougie drinks, and then we had a bag full of beer. Because if you don't know, when you go to Kansas Speedway, you can bring your own drinks
Hmm.
and food for that matter if you really want to. But they have a lot of good food.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, we got dropped off. We had pre-race passes from Al as well. So we went down onto the racetrack and we signed it. Uh, what else did we do down there? The Sister Hazel was performing. I apparently don't know who Sister Hazel is.
oh my god, it's so
I don't know a
funny.
single song right now.
I think
And they were not singing their songs.
they were singing like Tom Petty and stuff, and I'm like, well, maybe it's because nobody knows who you are, NASCAR.
It might be. Like at least last year Smash Mouth performed and I was like, okay, I actually know a surprising amount of Smash Mouth songs. Like this
Hmm.
is weird. And I didn't know you guys were still alive. Very fat now. Um,
Very fat now.
but you know, they're alive. But Sister Hazel, I don't know a Sister Hazel song. Do you know a Sister Hazel song?
I've actually seen them in concert accidentally at Power and Light before.
Oh,
They opened for Blues Traveler.
okay, that makes sense. Like I knew they were from the 90s,
Yeah, so they
but
were like from that generation, but when we were talking to people, like we're talking people, anybody, like there was a wide range from like 40s, 30s, 20s. I said it to the hairdressers at Salon Z. They're like, who? Like, shout out to Dylan. He told me that I looked very sunburnt. He likes to
right
tell
now.
me that I like look bad because everyone else tells me that I look good, I guess. So he gives me some balance. But it was funny because he's like, who? Sister, what is that? And I'm like, never mind. I think it's the All For You song, like, finally I figured out that it
Oh,
took a long. Yeah, that one, I think it
I know
was.
them.
Yeah, that's
So
them.
they're like knockoff Hootie and the Blowfish.
They are. They're like in between Hootie and the Blowfish and Blues Traveler.
Okay.
It's weird. They're like a boppy little, like, 90s.
I like that song. I
It's
just didn't
it's a
know
good
it was
song, but it's
Sister
just such a weird fit for NASCAR. I'm thinking Florida Georgia Line or something ridiculous is going to be there, like over the top country.
They have, okay, like I said, I've been there. This will be my second race, so I have not been there 3 times, but I do know the year before that they did not have a country band then either. I'm like, country is NASCAR. Like the NASCAR opening song is sung by Blake Shelton. So,
Maybe this, I don't know if it was NASCAR or like who put on, who decided the entertainment, but goddamn, hit and miss. It was definitely a miss. Definitely a
yeah,
miss.
it was definitely a miss, especially with the crowd that we ended up running into. So, we were down there. We were just walking, minding our own business. I was trying to find Kyle Busch's pit stall. So we're walking across the infield to go to the pit lane, and some girl runs up to Gat and just tugs on her extension, but like gently, I think. It was
She just kind of
gentle.
pet me. I think it was like
Okay.
I don't. If she did pull on my hair, I didn't notice because I have a very like desensitized scalp.
Well, you had just gotten them put in that
Right. So
day.
I'm just like, I
So
can't feel anything.
yeah. So she comes up and like starts playing with Gat's hair, saying how gorgeous it is, which it was and is, and it's super pretty blonde right now. So she was talking, and then like she saw Gat's eyes, and wouldn't stop talking about her eyes and her eyelashes and everything. And so obviously, like that's how girls bond, and now we're best friends. And her name is Katie. Uh,
What up, Katie?
so I don't know if Katie is watching. Katie is probably still recovering because Katie was drunk, but we met Katie. She was talking to us about eyelashes for a while, and then she realized that she lost her husband. So we had
Mm-hmm.
to find Katie's husband, which was not hard because Katie's husband was next to his best friend who was in a lime green shirt.
Yeah,
So
that
it
he
was very
was.
easy to find him. Literally maybe 15 feet in front of us too. Like it wasn't far.
She acted
So
like
yeah.
she left him like in the stands or something. By the way,
Yeah,
she's
she
like, I
didn't
can't
know.
find my husband, and like I kept seeing these guys staring at us. I'm like, okay, that wouldn't be that too far off because well, we have all of our teeth, and the hair and the outfits did look good. You were definitely like the fancy side of it. I think I went low key because I like didn't know what to do. I was like,
Yeah.
this is first time like being like, I guess both on the track and also up in the suite. I was like, okay, we'll see what happens. Um, and yeah, so she acted like they were nowhere to be found, but they're right behind us. These dudes staring at us. I'm like, and like they kept laughing, and I'm like, they have to know her. But
Right.
when she turned around and saw them, she confirmed, yeah, I know them. I'm like, all right, Katie. Then we became friends with them too.
Yes. So we met the whole clan. They drove all the way down here from Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Des Moines, I think they said. So that was pretty cool to hang out with. I didn't realize because like I've never, I guess, paid attention to the people around me, but really talked to anybody else when I go to NASCAR. Like how many people are travel for this?
Yeah,
Because they were there from Des Moines. We met some other people like a few hours later. No, that was afterwards. We met them from Nebraska. There was a ton of people in Nebraska here.
a ton, and that's why I could just pawn you
In
off
our
to be like,
suite, yeah, in our suite were St. Louis people like that traveled here just for this, and I was like, wow, I am impressed.
it is, and like I think that's a part of Kansas City that we get really spoiled and we don't really realize just how much stuff happens here in the city all the time. I mean, Iowa, yeah, I think it's kind of obvious that you're going to be bored if you live there. Um, St. Louis, you know, you have at least the Cardinals and the Blues,
Hmm.
but a lot of people travel from places that have nothing like this, and it's a sport that isn't city centric. So, honest to God, it makes more sense to be a NASCAR fan because it never ends. You can travel all over the place and go to whatever races you want and
Hmm.
do really cool stuff. And it's just it's kind of a blast, and like all walks of life are there.
It was. It really was all walks of life. Like some people that I would have never expected to be at NASCAR were at NASCAR, so it was really cool to
That
see
was
everybody.
that we were okay. So when Megan saw like the like the lineup, she went to the Kyle Busch stall. We got to see the car in person, and she was doing Periscope and like taking photos and doing all sorts of stuff. Casually just chatting up Mrs. Kyle Busch.
Yeah, talking to Samantha Bush.
You guys both had sparkly boots on. I think she
Hmm.
knew you were a kindred spirit.
She always dresses up though. That's literally when I was getting dressed, I was like, what would Samantha wear?
That's incredible. So how weird was that for you? Like, is
That
that
was weird
cool?
because I didn't expect her to be down there. But yeah, it was pretty cool. We got to see her and their son Brexton, who the day before was in a four-wheeler accident. So it was kind of cool to see him and like he was totally fine. Like you know how kids are, they rebound like
Yeah,
crazy.
I don't
But
get that. Like I like barely like roll my ankle and I'm out for a month and my kids like will fall down and like beat each other up and just be like chaotic and they're fine.
yeah, they're psychopaths. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, the other day when your dad got that video of them, they were wearing helmets just smashing into each other
Yeah, cuz they
for no
saw it
reason.
they wanted to be they wanted to be gladiators, but then Audrey had seen bullfighting or something and decided that she wanted to teach her brother how to fight like bulls.
Yeah.
But none of you are bulls, nor do you have horns, so just put helmets on. It's fine. Just go,
It's
just
fine. Just
jousting
smash your
each
heads
other.
together.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure
cool.
CTE
You
is
know,
not a thing.
CTE isn't a real thing. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the kids are just absolutely just so much better at everything than I am. So I'm just like, whatever, you guys do it. Like the Easter egg, go hide your own Easter eggs. So like you guys are
Yeah.
already gonna like. I'm still finding them, so they didn't do that great of a job. But it's funny. It's interesting to see how much of a family like community sport it really is.
Yeah, it was really cool. And we like all of the drivers, we got pulled away before the drivers came to their cars, so we only got to see like the families and the pit crew and stuff. But some of the drivers beforehand came by like on their way to introductions and signed stuff. Like our best friend Katie got her sweatshirt signed by Austin Dillon, who's a douche. So sorry, Katie.
Well, she
But
even said that, didn't she? She was like,
yeah, she's like, I don't even like him.
yeah, but I like got the entire video. Like I recorded it and sent it to her. Like that's my new thing lately. By the way, if I'm ever asking for your phone number, it's because I took for a photo of you. Like
Yeah.
this guy was doing something, and I got this really because I love taking like portrait mode photos. It's like the best thing ever because I get to show people, look how cool you look now. Um, and so I took a portrait mode photo. I was like, hey, what's your number? I'll send it to you. It's a really good picture. You should use it. He's like, wow, that is a good picture. You can here's, and I'm like, okay, don't make this weird. You don't have to like airdrop. Do you have airdrop? I'll just airdrop it to you. I don't need your
Right.
number that way. It's cool. Whatever. But yeah, it was entertaining. But while you were doing that, I got a couple. I think I was taking a video. I can't remember what I was doing. I have so much shit on my phone. I just need to send it all to you. Um, and there's this guy sitting like next to me, and I mean, I'm not like saying that he didn't look like he had money, but okay, it's NASCAR. Everyone's in like windbreakers, hats, jeans, and very dressed
Right.
down ish. And this guy is next to me, and he's like, I go, wow, this is incredible. He goes, yeah. He was talking about how his brother actually created the first like prototype for the modern day NASCAR and like how he built like all these engines and stuff. And he was like going on about how his brother, I think Larry was the smart, like over accomplishing one. He saw a problem when he started working in the automotive department at, I think, Chevy or something. And I think Chevy, yeah, it was Chevy back in the day. And he noticed a problem and actually created the engines to get more air in them or something. He like opened up something, so he was the one that created it. I'm just casually sitting next to the guy whose brother like redid the modern NASCAR, and like that's the type of people that you run into. And he's like, yeah, I mean, he's a multi-millionaire, but hey, so am I now, so whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what a nice humble flex, sir. Uh,
Right.
but I was asking him questions and he told me everything. I mean, it was very honest. I was just like, damn, I want to have that kind of flex one day.
That would be like, I'm just casually a millionaire. Sorry.
Yeah. Guess it's working out okay for me. Like, okay, can I have some money? Thanks.
Right.
Like,
But we will be that way. Like if we ever make it big, which we will.
we're on our way.
Uh, but when we do, we will still dress like this and look poor.
Oh,
So,
100%. Like, I don't understand. Like, Amazon Essentials, I'm going to put them in my Amazon store. I need somebody to buy something soon so that way I can continue being an Amazon influencer. But I wear it's one. This is one of them. One of the t-shirts. They're long and they're most comfortable. They have give in them. I can wear them with anything. They're incredible. That's all I wear now. Amazon Essentials t-shirts, and they're like $12 for two of them.
that's amazing.
Why would you wear anything else? Like clothes are so fucking stupid. That's why I got so mad at that chick at the Peanut because I'm like, you can put on whatever the hell you want. You can like
Hmm.
you can look like the nicest person. Like I can get extensions, get my hair done, eyes, makeup, everything in the world. And if you're a shit person, it shows no matter what you do.
Right.
So why don't I just look like shit and then people just assume I'm a shit person and then when I'm nice, I surprise them.
And ta-da!
Ta-da! Low
Yeah.
expectations.
See, I think it's almost like it's more fun that way when you don't look rich and then you're like, haha,
Yeah.
here's all my money. Like pretty woman the shit out of you right
I
now.
that is like the ultimate thing though. It's like when and it's not that like I enjoy being a pain in the ass, but I enjoy like how I don't think they did this on purpose. I think it's because it was race day and they're very busy and everyone was very tired. But when we would go to certain like when we were trying to get drinks after the race, first of all
Hmm.
we walked in and once again we're walking to turn two because I was like, yeah, let's just go up there, chill, and we can decompress because I mean that was a lot going on,
Right.
and get some drinks, hang out for a little bit, and we can head back. And so we go up there and there's a woman that stops us again. That's like, Gracie, I'm like, yes, wonderful. I just want to make sure if you were taken care of. I mean, even after the race, everyone is just like still on heightened alert.
Right.
So we get up there, and we get some drinks. I mean, it was slow just because I don't really think they were paying attention to what we wanted, and it was just kind of like, I don't know, it was whatever. But the bartenders, you could just tell they were tired. They probably wanted to go home, end of their day. They're like, I'm over this. Um, and so we get up there, and they were kind of like, whatever. Then I broke my nail, and when I break a nail, I'm OCD with them. Like if one's gone, I have to either have to have them all off, or I have to fix it, or I have to put a band-aid on it. So just like it bothers me. And so I was being an asshole, and this just pushes or just shows you how far casino people are willing to go, and it is an incredible testament to Hollywood Casino's service there, and it absolutely floored me that it even happened. I text our guy Al. It's 12:30 in the morning, by the way. Like, pain in the ass people usually operate. I think 10 o'clock is the cutoff. Like, if you're going to be a pain in the ass, do it before 10 p.m.
Okay.
It is not his
These are
job
newer rules
to worry
that I'm
about
not
my
aware of.
broken nail.
Okay.
I feel like he has other things
You
to
would
do.
be correct.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my god, are you gonna have somebody special send me, bringing me a Band-Aid too? I was joking. I was literally gonna ask the bartender.
Hmm.
He said it's on the way. I didn't get any other. I didn't get anything like, oh my god, you're so annoying. It just said it's on the way. My slots manager Tosh will be over there. 12:30 at night, Saturday night, race day at Hollywood Casino. I push the limits to see just how far their hospitality and their service will go, and I have to say 10 fucking stars if that's a
You're
scale.
so ridiculous.
He brought me a Band-Aid, 2 Band-Aids just
Two
in
of them.
case.
A spare.
And when the bartenders saw that the slots manager was bringing me Band-Aids, that's when they decided, let's get you more. How are you doing today? It was
Yeah.
really funny, though.
Yeah, that definitely inspired some more service from them. But
Yeah, it was good. But, like, that's the thing. I had drank so much Red Bull and vodka Red Bull. It wasn't just Red Bull. And then Monster energy drinks were obviously everywhere. So I feel like I couldn't have been the only one that was just fucking wired when they got home.
I mean, I was not, but I did not have any vodka Red Bulls, so
That's true. You stay
I
away from
understand.
caffeine because you're smart.
I do not. I love caffeine. I had a lot of coffee
But
at the
coffee is
race.
different. Like, I feel like coffee doesn't make you jittery and all that
Yeah,
stuff too.
you're
It
not up,
can.
like your
but-
heart is about to explode.
Yeah, I'm just having a heart attack, you guys.
Just having a heart attack.
Casual. But no, I'm
This
just
was
like the service was incredible.
It was. It was super, super fun, and everything was just so easy. Like that was the part that I won't ever get over. Because like NASCAR in general is easy, like I said, since you get to bring in your own shit.
Yeah.
Parking is free, but you have to walk quite a bit always. And once you're in, it's great. Like they have a ton of food, ton of merch, ton of everything, like right at your hands. But like Hollywood made it so freaking simple. Like parking was a breeze because we got to park in the garage, and there's plenty left. Like anybody can do that. And even if you don't want to take the shuttle, which they do have, it's not that far of a walk. You could walk there if you really wanted to. So
Yes, and that's like
it was
you
amazing.
mentioned the mud, the fact that we avoided so much mud, and I think that was the biggest thing I was like so worried about. I did get my Air Forces cleaned. I dropped them off. It's like, can you help me? And they're like, what did you do? I was like,
Took them in the
I'm
mud.
gonna buy a new pair, but can you like fix these? Thanks.
Yeah, my
Help.
shoe, I can show you my boots. They're actually right in front of me. I'm not going to show you them, but the boots from last year are still destroyed.
I think October, if it is nice out, like nicer. I don't know. I don't know because it was like warm up until it wasn't last year.
Last October's was awesome. It was really nice and not cold. It was not, this one was way colder today, or Saturday's race was
Yeah.
colder than it was in October last year.
So I'm
But
hoping October will be nice.
we didn't have to deal with that because we didn't sit with the plebs.
Fuck nah.
We were in a suite and it was climate controlled, so it wasn't cold. And we just hung out and had a lot of food
A lot of food. It
and
was very
free drink.
leisurely, and more or less, like I think the suite is just it's the move. I can't go backwards in life. I've made that decision. I was talking about earlier, like 2019. I made a lot of rules. I made a lot of changes so I could be a better person for myself.
Hmm.
And that's when, you just kind of like shut down. And so I decided I'm shutting down the going backwards in life. So now I've got to go to a suite, or I got to drive a car. I got to start taking up
Gotta
NASCAR
drive a
because
car.
I cannot sit in the grandstand anymore casually. I mean, it's awesome. I will 100% do it. But I'm like,
Yeah,
damn, if I have an option, I want to sit there.
agreed. It was really, really cool to get to sit up there. And it was just fun to like everybody in there was so friendly. Like we hung out with these two ladies all night.
Yes.
Uh that
Tiffin,
were
Kate, or Karen? I forgot.
I don't remember.
Karen. Yeah, it's Karen.
It was Karen, you're correct. We hung out with them. They were actually the hosts of our suite. But we hung out with them and then some other people that we just kind of mingled with all night.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome. Like the whole thing was packed. It was filled. They used every seat in that suite, which normally would be sound a little bit stressful, but it really wasn't because, like I said, everybody was super friendly and just kind of intermingling and talking about NASCAR. And some other people that I know were talking about astrology.
You know, you don't get to impress women like Tiff and Karen very often because like they've seen everything. They've seen everybody. They've been around every important person in the world, and they probably don't get to talk about themselves a lot. They're probably like talking about
That's
other
true.
people's bullshit all the time.
Hmm.
And all I wanted to do was share my love of astrology and talk about them for a while. And Karen started reading it. She goes, "Holy shit, this is too much." And well, she didn't say that. She was a nice lady. She doesn't have a mouth like of a sailor like
She
I
does
do.
not know. She was a very
She was
proper woman.
very proper. So please excuse my rendition of our conversation. But basically, she's like, "This is absolutely 110% spot on." I was like,
Hmm.
"Okay, cool. You're a believer too. Awesome." uh, Tiff and she didn't want to read anything. She just wanted to like I would drop it in casual conversation when she would say something, and then like there's people that want to read about it, or there's people that are curious but like not really, or then there's people that are just being polite and going okay. And
Hmm.
she was curious, Karen was curious, or I wouldn't have done that. But she did
Right.
call her mom, who's 90 years old, to ask
She
her
did.
what time she was born.
You got to be accurate with the stars, man.
I thought that was just like the coolest thing ever. No one's ever done that. They've just been like, nah, that's cool. Like,
Yeah, right?
I
Like
don't know it. Sorry.
they do generally just say, I don't know. But
Yeah.
no, that was awesome. And they were awesome. They were really cool. And it reminded me of this other part that happened while we were driving up with Cameron in
Yes.
the car. So we asked him what his star sign is, and he said, and then I guess sun sign, but he said, and I don't know what his response was specifically, but then Gat's response was, "Don't worry, I'm a doctor." I was like, "What?"
um. Uh. I
And
was
of
trying
course,
it out.
we're all like, "No, you're not." And you're like, "But I will be soon. I'll be an MD soon." I was like, "You will never be
You
an MD."
you don't know that. I could get bored and go to med school. I have many personalities. Just wait,
You will
Sagittarius
not.
shithead.
I know that your math skills cannot survive that, so I can say with assurance that you will never be an MD or your favorite, an honorary MD.
Yeah, maybe somebody could give me an honorary MD. And
No,
then I've seen
no,
the
they
movie
won't.
Catch Me If You Can. It's fine. I'll be an MD. I'll just make one.
Oh my God. Okay, that could happen. You
But
could go
then
catch me if you can style.
so then I would just be a liar, and that's not as fun.
Yeah.
It's not as fun to be like dumbly convinced that you're a real doctor, because you talk about planets with people who have no interest in them. But he did. I mean, I we
You
tried
knew
it.
immediately what his sign was.
He did, and maybe it's because he also had a crazy girlfriend or something that thought that planets mattered. I mean, the thing is, like, if you're a bitch, you're a bitch. But I could tell you why you're being a bitch. I could tell you why you act that way. I could tell you why you have impulsive behaviors and why you feel the need to do things. But other people don't care. And that's why I realize I don't need to do that all the time, but I can't help it lately. So I need to either get it out of my system. I've started the astrology meme account. The first meme got 9 likes. I'm very excited about it.
Wow.
And we'll see. We'll see. I'm trying to compartmentalize my obsessions to where they don't bother other people as much.
Okay. So that's fair.
It's
I think
cool.
people, well, I guess right now they're currently interested, so I wouldn't worry about it. I suppose it could get trying
You
after a
know,
while,
I
but
feel like I don't really know if I feel bad about it because I say I'm trying to compartmentalize it. But you know what? If you can listen to your dumb friend talk about like her fucking cat or watch school musical videos of people's kids that aren't yours and idly sit by and feign interest, you can fucking listen to me talk about something that I actually care about. That's how I
That
feel.
is true. That is true. People do listen to a lot of bullshit. And
They
it's funny where
do.
they draw the line,
Yeah,
like,
you draw the
no,
line at
not listening to this
astrology.
bullshit.
You don't want to
Okay.
hear me talk about astrology, which is fine. I get it. Like people tell others like, oh yeah, she does like sports media, and then here I am talking about the planets. Like I guess it can be a little bit confusing, but that's what I love about like what we do is just because we could talk about whatever we want because we can make things, we can justify damn near anything. Trust me,
Yeah, that is true.
it's beautiful. So
I'll make you believe anything.
but yeah, there was a great. I mean, Saturday was just so crazy and
Hmm.
so much fun, and there's so much like there's so many different parts of the day that the race and the drama in the race didn't really seem like that exciting as it normally would if we were just sitting down there because there's so many things to do.
Yeah, yes and no. I agree with that
For you, it
because
was probably more intense, but I was like,
no, I do not like watching NASCAR at NASCAR races. Like you get nothing from that, and I'm not denying that. So I don't think it mattered if we were in the suite or not. I mean, maybe it would have been better if we were down there, like with headsets on or something, but like it is hard to watch NASCAR live because you just can't know. There's so many parts to it. It's really
mm-hmm.
hard to know what's going on. It's fun. I love it and I will never stop going because it's fun experience as a whole, but like do I does the race resonate with me as much as watching it at home? No.
Because you're
Never.
actually like laser focused. There's no other distractions, nothing else going on.
Right. And like you know what's going on. Like a lot of the inner workings of a NASCAR race happen on the radios between the driver and their spotter or the driver like the spotter to spotter. All of this stuff, the like timing of pit stops, stuff like that, like all of that, you can't possibly know on your own sitting in the stands. Like you need to kind of be fed that information. So that part is a little bit hard. Yes, you can watch your racer drive around the track, like that's easy. But I'm nosy and I want to know what's going on with everybody. So it's a little bit hard. So
You could have been one of those people like in the suite and could have had like your headset thing, like your scanner on.
the guy next to me had one on the whole time. Uh, and so, yeah, I could have, but even that is hard. I mean, you can listen to the TV broadcast on those, which I think would have been a little bit better to do, but I don't know. In general, you're not getting the best race experience when you go to the race. It's just the atmosphere and the
Oh
funness
yeah,
of going out to the race.
and there's people that like not retire and do this, but I'm not saying that it's like an older thing to do, but a lot of people that have the RVs and the campers and stuff end up being more or less like traveling around and they build like communities and like friends and like all
Hmm.
sorts of it. And if you can't make everyone, some of them even like just camp and like travel with the series and just
Yeah.
park out there and hang out if you can't
Yeah.
afford like to go in the race.
It's kind of like a convention for rednecks.
And it's
Like,
like all over the country.
yeah, you're like gathering every weekend and it's great.
That's crazy. So yeah, when people and then I got to the peanut on Sunday after all of it, and like people were, I had seen them on Friday, and we were making plans, and obviously I was making my non announcement that everybody got very angry with me for making a non
Right.
announcement. It's cool. Just don't listen to me when I tweet things like I have life changing news. No, I don't. Like, don't take me seriously. If I actually have life changing
Don't
news,
take
I
me
just spring it
seriously.
on you. I just be like, surprise, bitch.
That is
I'm
true.
leaving Kansas City. No. But that was like the first thing they did, and I was kind of offended. I was kind of like, how dare you? They're like, so hillbilly, how was NASCAR? And I'm
Oh
like
my
sitting
God.
there with like my extensions were still, I mean, they're still perfectly done. I mean, they're still pretty like nice looking. I need to re curl my hair because it's all straight again now. But
Right.
I was sitting there, I was like, "Yeah, come on now. It wasn't hillbilly stuff. How dare you? They're nice people. Like I was quickly reminded of like how hospitable they were because it's not that I forgot. It's that, it was a long time ago the last time in my mind. A lot of stuff has happened since the last NASCAR race I got went to, and
Right.
I kind of forgot like how much the people truly make the sport fun.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you guys want to make fun of it, that's cool. Go for it. Don't knock it till you try it. It was Corey's first time at NASCAR. He's the most bougie person I know, the most extra person I know. And
True.
you think he's bad. His mom is next level. Like, she's who I aspire to be when I grow up.
That's
Just
awesome.
commanding, in charge, and doesn't take any shit from anybody. She's coming with us next time. She's like, I want to go to NASCAR.
Yay.
And she
That's
goes,
so
"You may,
exciting.
if Corey had fun, because that's what she was worried about. She's like, if Corey had fun and didn't like, because he might get like a little bit more temperamental than me every once in a while, if possible.
Mhm.
He's a Gemini. It's what happens. Um, and so he had a great time. So she's like, okay, if he can put up with it, I'm sold. Let's do it. It's like, that's awesome.
It is. I mean, it's just fun. Like I said, the experience as a whole is fun. It's kind of like going to the state fair. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're gonna get.
It
And
is.
so,
I would say it's like a state fair, 100%.
yeah.
Less
It's
fried
twice a
food.
year. Like, what the fuck are you doing that you can't go twice a year? Nothing.
Exactly. You can
Nothing.
do it.
You're
We have
not
faith in
doing
you.
anything. Yeah, so that was fun. And we had heard rumors that some famous Kansas City athletes were going to be in our suite, but as it turns out, they had a wedding to attend.
Yeah. What was up with that?
I don't know, but everybody in Kansas City was at the frickin' Gehrig Kraft wedding.
That's
So,
awesome. I think that I'm so happy that everybody was celebrating and having a lovely Saturday. It's wedding season.
it is fully wedding season.
I
Everybody and their mom is off to weddings all the time.
I support weddings March, June, July. No, March through no, I'd say April through July. It's good wedding
Why
time.
don't you like May wedding? Oh, April through July.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. April through July.
I
Just
was like,
April
what's
and
wrong
July.
with
Those are the
May?
only weddings I go. I didn't even go to the wedding I was supposed to go to in April. So obviously, I mean, weddings are expensive and they're expensive to travel to. So
Yeah.
I couldn't do it this time. But I mean, I wish I could be there. But like weddings to me, make it one day, make it fun, and then just get done. I don't need to do like all that. Like I mean, most people can't. Um, so it was funny that they were all just
Yeah,
partying it up for good old Gehrig.
I agree. I think you get July and August. And those are the only two suitable wedding months that don't have major sporting events happening
I would go
during
as
them.
far to say as I would get married in like December or something. Like just because family's together anyways and just make it quick.
If you were having a family only wedding, yes, I agree because they're already going to be there. But otherwise, making people travel
Yeah. I
to
don't
your
have
wedding plus they have to go home for Christmas or whatever, like your friends, like
yeah.
that's not gonna work.
Like that's too selfish. I mean, I don't have friends. I just have you. You'll be at my wedding.
Yeah. So if you and your future husband are in the same city and all of your family is also here, then yeah, go for it.
Then go for it. Perfect. Well, now we know. That's even better.
Not even June. No, because June has the College World Series. June has, I believe, NBA finals are going to trickle into June. They
Hmm.
might finish at the end of May. I'm not very good at planning out calendar things. Uh, and NHL playoffs are still ending. So, no, June, maybe late June, but
Late
otherwise you
June
get July
works.
and August. July and August, that's it. Only thing going on is baseball. Even better in July because that's when the All-Star break is. So there's no baseball then. Plan your wedding.
You know what we should do? We should just make it to where everyone has to get married on the 4th of July or else they're a terrorist.
Okay.
Makes it a lot simpler. If you want to get married, wait till the 4th of July. If you
Want to
can't
talk
wait
about
that long,
terrorism?
yeah, I do. I would like to talk about terrorism.
My uncle got married on 9/11 after 9/11 happened.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Like not the day of 9/11, but like 2 years later, 9/11. And I'm like, I think it was like a Tuesday too. Like I don't even think it was a weekend.
That's ridiculous.
I know.
We haven't even like I mean, I know that it was sad and this morning was just like a emotional shit show for me as a human. But like Gunther Cunningham passing away today too. Doris Day is gone. Like Gunther Cunningham was like one of the single-handed like greatest human beings I've ever met. I was like,
Okay.
damn, that fucked me up today.
I don't know him, so
No,
it
that's
did
okay.
not fuck me up, but I can understand it fucking you up. Why was he the nicest human? What did he
Uh,
do?
he was the Chiefs coach. He was defensive coordinator, and then he became the head coach for a year. But he would like before he was the head coach, and then he finished his career with Detroit Lions. We won't talk about that. Chiefs fans are more sad. Fuck off, Detroit. Um, Gunther, he's just like the nicest human. Like him and Dick Vermeil were very, very emotional coaches, and like I just feel like they just like genuinely felt for the team, and they weren't afraid to show it. Which I guess in the late '90s, it was odd to see men showing such raw emotion.
Okay.
About these things. I don't know. It was weird, but like he was obviously really close with Derek Thomas. And when Derek Thomas was tragically killed, I know that was really, really hard for him to deal with because he was his coach, not only
Right.
defensive coordinator but then also head coach. It was just it was really sad. So I think that he had to take some time off, which I think anyone would. So he was just, you just wanted to protect him, you know? He wasn't Marty Schottenheimer out there banging Tanner's waitresses every other day.
Okay.
But I still love Marty because that's just who he is. But just, he was just such a good, kind person, and he gave back a lot to the city. He stuck around and, you know, was a part of the community still, even though, you know, he was no longer with the Chiefs. But it's just sad to see something like that happen because it's like, you know, that they're older and you know that they're probably going to get up in age, but it's like, damn, he was cool. And he was always nice to me as a kid. And I know that you're supposed to be nice to kids, but even when you're supposed to be nice to kids, some people just aren't nice to kids,
Yeah.
no matter what. But he was not like that at all.
That's awesome. I'm sorry that he died.
Yeah, R.I.P.
But he
man.
was old, right?
72. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess not that old.
they were not that old, but older.
Older.
So it was sad. And then
He lived.
I got on Facebook I hate getting on Facebook. I don't know why I even did it. And everyone's got black and white photos up. And I was like, oh, don't know who that is. I'm an uncultured swine of a cinephile, and I don't know who Doris Day is, or I didn't recognize her by appearance. So then I was like, who is this woman? I clicked on it. Oh, Doris Day died. Okay.
I don't know who that is.
Somebody was like more like, I don't know, somebody gave a heartfelt, like emotional, long page of why Doris Day like impacted her life. And I was just like, what? It was really strange, but
Okay.
I'm not into old movies. Are you?
Yeah, I don't really like, I don't dislike them. I just haven't ever really gone out of my way to watch them. So the only reason I know Doris Day's name even is because it's in one of the songs from Grease.
Grease, yeah. Or
Yeah,
Doris Day. Hey.
exactly. That
Yep.
is the only reason I know who Doris Day
I was
is.
thinking that, but I was like, I would lose all my street cred if people knew that I knew a musical. So,
Okay.
got to
I
keep
like
that thug image
musicals.
up.
I
But
don't like Grease, but I do like musicals.
you can have them. They are all yours. They make me nervous. I don't like sporadic singing or sudden movement. So last night watching Game of Thrones
Okay.
basically gave me a heart attack, and I turned it off and went to sleep.
Yes, you did last night, but today you completed it.
Hmm.
And let's hear your overall feels
That's the
on
problem.
the show.
Like, I don't know how to feel. Like I had a really like, we can just say that I wasn't in the right like mindset yesterday to watch it. So it started watching. It was
Correct.
jumping all over the place. I just want to say real quick, and it has nothing to do really with Game of Thrones, but if a female tells you to don't touch her and don't talk to me and please leave me alone, 4 different times, and you hear this female say it, if she's talking to you, you hear it, you listen to her, you stop it, or you hear it happening,
Mhm.
and you see somebody being like a guy shoving a woman, and like I don't care if it's in a jokey manner or not, you should probably pay attention to what's going on, especially if you're like a crowded place where a lot of people are. Maybe some place that I used to feel safe until now. But yesterday something happened that I just was very personal invasion of space, and I feel like just maybe give like just don't do that. I don't like.
Just don't do that.
I've done a lot of like I've done a lot of I've been I don't know, I've done a lot of drugs through my lifetime, and I've been very drunk many times, and all none are excuses for behavior like this guy had. And I've never done that to anybody. I've never assaulted somebody because of substances I put in my body. So I've managed to do that. So I don't think it's the drugs or the booze. I think you're just a shit person if you violate somebody's personal space in any way, shape, or form. Like, just fucking don't do it.
Agreed. And just in general, kind of like what we talked about, that this is going off topic now, so sorry, Game of Thrones
Well, Game of
cut.
Thrones has a lot of like violence and like I don't know,
Yeah, we'll get
encroaching
back
of
to it. We
personal
won't.
space. So whatever.
We're not getting back to that. That's fine. We're going on this hype train, which I'm cool with too. Definitely, just in general, know that consent means for that one time. Consent is not for ever. Just because you banged once doesn't mean you want are bangable, I guess. It
Yeah,
doesn't mean that the door is open forever. Like you have to ask. You don't have to be like, "Hey, would you like to have sex with me?" But like there are ways to know consent for real without being weird about it.
right.
You have to do that every single time. There has to be reciprocation. Just because you banged once does not mean that like when they tell you no that they're playing coy. Like maybe once. I do agree. Girls do say no and don't mean it a lot. So, but still, like, you have to get full on permission from everybody every time because it could, I suppose, like, this is a bit extreme way to put it, but it could be body altering. And
Hmm.
anytime you have to get body alterations any other time, you have to send a consent form every time. For tattoos, when I go, like this is all one tattoo. All 6 times I've had to sign a consent form.
Yeah. Saying like, yes, I know what I'm doing. Yes, I give this artist permission to do this to my body because it is, like you said, alteration.
Yeah,
Um,
surgery,
I
same
don't
thing. That's extreme, but you know.
I don't see anything. I don't like. I know that people like social justice warriors were all mad about like people bringing up consent forms for others to sign. But good God, like if you're famous enough to where somebody could come back and say and like ruin your life, let's put it that way. Sign a non-disclosure. Sign a consent form. Let it just right there, right then and there. Sign it that way. It's right there, and you don't coerce anybody. I mean, I've known of athletes as far as to record somebody saying their name, yes, and like that's been done.
Right.
And it's weird, but it comes back to any other establishment. If I walk onto somebody's fucking property and it says no trespassing, I can get shot and it would be okay because it's my fault for walking on property that says no trespassing.
Right.
It's private property. My vagina, whether you've seen it or not, is private property. You don't just get to walk in there. You're like, I don't know. I feel weird that I have to say this in 2019. If you see me and we've had sex before or there's been sexual like vibes between us,
Hmm.
I don't care what it is. You do not like literally he walked up and I don't even care now if he knows that I say this. Walked up to
Okay.
me and was like, "Hey baby, I saw him arrive. I knew he shouldn't I didn't need to talk to him. I purposely avoided the whole area. I purposely stayed the fuck away from him. I
Hmm.
was like 800 feet like on the other side of the bar. Like purposely stayed out of his line of view to avoid this confrontation because I like going to this place. I like going there because that's where my friends go and that's where I go if it's been even if it's been a long day or if I'm meeting people there, meeting clients there, whatever.
Right.
It's just it seemed like a safe place, so I was like, all right, cool. I'll be fine if he does come over and talk to me. I can just brush it off.
Hmm.
It got to the point where he's in my face saying, "Why aren't we doing?" Blah, 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 and then texting on his phone right in front of me, like this string, like 8 message conversations, all women. And he's like, "Yeah, I'd say you should come home with me, but you know, I got this chick. She'll show up, and it's not good." And like, I'm like, one, I didn't fucking ask you what you've been up to. I don't care.
Hmm.
He goes, the last time you saw me, you told me I looked like shit. And I'm like, you still do. I don't want
Fair
to be
enough.
associated with somebody who does drugs and acts like an idiot all the time. That's not my thing. Like,
Right.
medical marijuana is not PCP or whatever the fuck this guy's on. Thinking that you
Something.
can fucking mess with me like that and get away with it. But good news, you can because cops don't care either. But yeah, I just, long story short, this guy was in my face saying, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to punch you in the head. Yeah, that's kind of a red flag.
A little bit.
So if you see it happening and you see something like that and you're 2 feet away and you may or may not be a manager of this establishment and you hear it all happen and you see
Hmm.
me go to the bathroom and you see him go too, it's not because I'm trying to fuck. All right.
Right.
So just wanted to throw that out there. Managers, people, beware. That's all.
Agreed. Definitely. definitely.
Yeah. So Sunday ended with Game of Thrones being like the like less stressful part of my day, but I just couldn't handle it. I'm like, there's too many surprises, too many people jumping out, but it was a lot of intense focus that I just wasn't able to do then. And so when I went back this morning, I see why you liked it. I'll put it that way. I see that it wrapped up a lot of what we were wondering, like you and I personally,
Hmm.
when we had talked about our conversation. But I got it, like, because you were, I haven't gone back and watched it the second time yet. I need to. So, opening scenes, what was going on? How are you feeling in the first, like, 5-10 minutes?
Well, I don't remember the exact timeline of everything, so I can't give
Okay,
you
not
that.
exact timeline, but like opening, like, parts, like, what was going on in the beginning? Because that's where my focus was not.
They were just setting up the battle, getting all the people in line, in place. I believe that's when Varys went down for basically committing treason. He was writing letters to everybody saying that Daenerys is insane and telling all the truth about Jon. And then he had his little child spying on Daenerys and everything because she wasn't eating whatever. I don't know
Mm.
what that part
That
mattered.
was
Well,
weird, though, right? I do
but
remember that. I'm like, why are you so fucking worried?
I don't know. It was odd. And so Tyrion basically ratted him out to the Mad Queen and she burnt him on the spot. And that's kind of when Jon started to finally waken up a little bit, that she was crazy because Varys had come to him and he was like, "You gotta take over," and Jon's like, "Nah." So
Well, and
that's basically what happened.
Varys kind of seemed to be not Captain Save-A-Ho. He's like Captain Meddling of like he was so good at like meddling with stuff. Obviously, there's been betrayment with other monarchs he's served. There's been other stuff, but like I do remember looking at the look in his eye when the dragon was like taking a big like just I don't know. It was really eerie how the dragon was like kind of like spiraling around like snake like, being like, okay, when do I get to do it? When do I get to do it?
Right.
Ugh. Like death by dragonfire seems horrifying.
It does, for sure. Like you're just burning there. Which they didn't really make it horrifying for that scene, which I appreciate because I don't think Ferris deserved to die that way.
No.
Uh, like they didn't show him like burning alive and screaming or anything. He just kind of took it. So,
You posted a meme about it on the Sprots Steaks Instagram, and I was dying laughing.
well, she blamed immediately after she blamed Sansa, saying like none of this would have happened if you didn't tell Sansa, and Sansa didn't tell everybody. And I was like, okay,
That's a very good point. I will say that I think Daenerys is abusing the shit out of her power. I think
right,
that's not really, groundbreaking fucking information, but imagining Jon Snow ever manning the fuck up and standing up to her, I can't wrap my head around that. He looked like a scared chicken in that battle, just horrified of what
yeah.
was going on. And I honest to God, like he's gonna have to kill her now.
He ought to, yeah. I don't think he's going to. I think it's going to be Arya, unfortunately. But yeah, he should. But like you said, he's not going to stand up to her. He didn't stand up to her yet. Even when she pushed him at some point in the show, I don't even remember when it happened. But then he was just like, I'll serve you. Like, that's all. So,
So the title of this episode is The Bells.
hmm.
What so what did Tyrion do? He basically said like lied to like what was it that happened? Like that was confusing for me because it was like, wait, so he at this point the bells ring, she agrees to a truce, or she agrees to surrender, or she agrees to just talk. What was it? Like that whatever Cersei decided.
If the bells ring, that means the city is surrendering. So it's her city at
Okay.
that point. And she didn't have to kill people anymore. Like, they gave up. She could take over, and we're done.
Yeah.
And she decided to burn them all down instead.
What the outrage that I saw from people were to the writers of this show about
Mm.
how lazily it was thrown together, that she saw the Red Keep and that's what triggered her to burn down and kill innocent people and just go completely nuts. And I'm like, I don't think, okay, my thing is, I don't think she's gone nuts. I think she's been fucking nuts. I think she's
Yeah.
been so fucking full of herself because, I mean, you, yes, you had a very rough life at the beginning of Game of Thrones. You were
Mhm.
raped, used as a glorified Dothraki blow up doll until you decided to fall in love with the man raping you, and then decided that since he was powerful and he was in you, and your family was powerful back in the day, but fucking family was nuts, and the rest of them were kind of horrible.
Right.
So now you're entitled to the entire fucking world. I mean, if this isn't some millennial bullshit, I don't know what is.
If this isn't millennial. Ah, that's funny. No, I agree. She's been crazy for a long time. They have not hidden that fact, so I'm not sure why. Like you said, people are really mad. They're like complaining about Danny's story arc, like how she was such a good person. Why could you do this? The very first person she killed in the show ever was an innocent person.
Yep.
Like, they did not need to die.
Yeah.
She wanted to burn down all of Marine, had to be talked out of it by Jorah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Varys and Tyrion have had to talk her out of doing crazy shit. And then, if you've ever, I mean, I'm a number one Survivor fan,
Mm-hmm.
the trashy TV show Survivor, and like when they're left alone for that long and they're playing Game of Thrones basically on Survivor because they want to be the one to win,
Yeah.
they go insane and they do ridiculous things. Same thing on Big Brother. Like you think that everybody's talking to everybody and they're not. And that's what she's gotten into. She thinks everybody's talking to everybody. Then her boyfriend basically denies her. He's like, nah, we're not fucking. And then she hasn't eaten in days. She's a hungry bitch. Like, what do you think she was gonna do? Of course she's gonna burn down the city. She's got a dragon.
She watched the one thing, which is weird to like have a very large, scaly, fire breathing death monster be your like thing that you love the most. I mean, I've loved some pretty shady men in my life, but none of them have been that bad. Uh,
Right.
and it was weird to see her like be that fucked up about the loss. Yes, she lost a lot. Yes, she looked like an idiot. Yes, she was not prepared. Use that revenge. Like I mean, and I was going to say, use it for good. Don't be stupid with it. But she had a chance to just kill Cersei instead of destroying King's Landing
Yeah.
and all the people in it.
Mhm.
She didn't do it. She's a fucking
No.
nut job. And this is
No.
just positive proof. I mean, have you been a fan of hers? Like, because I was a fan of hers for a while, for a little while.
I was a fan of hers until, well, no, because the guy was dead already when she became the Dragon Queen. Uh, I was a fan of hers until she went to the Slave Islands. After that, I didn't care about her anymore.
Yeah, when she got lost in that one pyramid thing, and it was like creepy, and there was like, I don't know, it got really weird there for a while.
Yeah.
There were so many
She's,
gods and so many things going on.
yeah. Yeah. So, like, I mean, she's, like you said, they've been building this up that she's not a good person for at least 2 seasons, if you don't want to look into anything before this. But definitely for the last 2 seasons, they've made this clear that she is not who we thought she was to begin with. She's not this pure little innocent thing. And I mean, she's had a lot of shit to fuck up her path. So, that happens. She probably was perfect before, and then all of this stuff happened. So,
Well,
whatever.
the storyline of goes back, and I guess it kind of does fit into the consent talk that we were just having before. Don't touch people if they don't want you to. That's pretty much it.
No.
Sansa, I got a lot of like shit that I was reading in articles, basically saying that the writers fucked up by saying that oh well you weren't always this strong and powerful. She's like, well, before I was like a little bird, and now I've seen some shit. I have a problem with like rape being something that turns you strong, because it's like no, that's not the narrative. We need to like rape survivors are not people that go around becoming better people because of it. Like
Right.
that's not what happens. So it was a little bit lazy on their end, just the personal narrative. I feel like they spent so much time working on all the like fighting and the scenes and the connections and how everything was going to go. I know how hard they were dedicated to every little detail being perfect and cinematically correct because Aaron Rodgers was there. So
Yeah.
like you don't need enough fucking hype to get people to watch this show. So you have random people who aren't actors: Ed Sheeran, Aaron Rodgers. There's been other people that are in it that I just don't pay
Yeah.
attention to. Why that infuriates me.
What?
Like,
Why?
because I'm
They
like,
ask.
I know, but it's so stupid. It's so stupid. It's like I want to watch a show and not think about Aaron Rodgers' bitch ass once, just once.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sure Packers fans are like, oh, that's so cool. And I'm like, ugh. If Patrick Mahomes is in there, I'm like, go away. This is Game of Thrones. You aren't here. I don't like seeing people that are real existing in a world that's not real.
Right. It does take you out of it.
It infuriated me. It completely
I do get
sidetracked
that.
me. And
I
I
do
did
get
not pay attention for like 20 more minutes after that.
I didn't see him at all.
Because
I
I
didn't even
just,
know until today that he was in there.
well, I think the only reason I noticed because I saw people tweeting about it. I'm like, what the fuck is Aaron Rodgers
Oh,
doing in there?
yeah.
And then when I saw it, I'm like, ugh.
That's funny.
I'm,
Yeah, if I rewatched it, it would probably be distracting now.
yeah. So I'm going to, that's what I'm going to try to rewatch it tonight. I don't know if there's anything going on. I'm not paying attention to it. I'm going to rewatch it tonight and like go back and be like, okay. And I'm going to deal with the fighting scene. I'm going to deal with all of that because I just need to actually get a better grasp. So, when you were, this is the funny part about it. Like, don't fuck with hungry bitches. That is a thing.
Yeah. Serious. We get mean.
It is a real thing. I was,
Everybody feeds
oof.
me when I'm mean, and it works.
Well, Cardi B, when I got home from dropping you off after NASCAR, Cardi B went live on Instagram and started having a meltdown. And I go, what the hell is wrong with her? And I was like, this is kind of funny.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm just so fucking tired. I am hungry. I'm so hungry and I'm so
Yes.
tired. And I'm like, this is 110% how I act when I'm hungry or tired.
Yeah. You are, not you, just the collective
Yeah.
female is a dramatic asshole.
Yeah. So feed her, and then maybe that wouldn't have happened. And then like that's I guess the like cinematic angles of all of it. The coolest scene that I thought the entire show, and I want to hear yours for sure, was the Hound walking up to the mountain. And they're on that crazy fiery death staircase. Mountain takes off his fucking helmet, and he's like, the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Very, very ugly. Like,
When did that happen?
Darth Vader.
Has he always been that ugly?
Yes.
I felt like when he was fighting Oberyn, he wasn't that ugly.
I think he's always been that. I don't know that for a fact, but I think that it happened to them both. The Hound and the Mountain got
Okay.
scarred in the same situation. Like I know the Hound got burned on fire, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, either way, it's like, okay.
Either way, he's ugly, and it was a Darth Vader cop out
Definitely.
looking thing. But,
Definitely cop
yeah.
out. No, like, it was just, then the dragon flying over, like,
Mhm.
that was just so fucking cool. I will say the visuals on this episode were incredible. The lighting, what Arya and the horse, of course, Old Town Road remix was my favorite part of that.
Right. Yeah, I appreciate a daylight battle. I will say that. Not that they changed it just because we all bitched about the nighttime battle, but I do appreciate the daylight and being able to see what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, because that was important. I kind of, the eye thing, I couldn't watch the Hound thing, but I did have a
I didn't watch
question
it.
for you about Arya. So that lump or that thing that she saw, that was the Hound, right? Like the Hound's like that's why she was staring at that thing on the ground.
I don't
Do you
know
remember
what
that?
you're
Like
talking about.
when she's with the horse,
Oh, the
and
burnt thing? I
the
have
burnt thing.
no idea what that was.
I'm like, why are we looking at a burnt pile? And like I saw what I thought was kind of like a hound like shape on like a, I don't know if it was like a sword handle or something sticking out or what that
Well, the
was.
two people was the daughter and the mother.
Right, that she tried to help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I saw. If there was something else, then I've had no idea what we're
Okay.
looking
I
at.
didn't know if she like saw the hound's like dead body or something. I could have, but I was like, that's way too far off. That wasn't like where that was. So I didn't know what,
Yeah.
I didn't know what that scene was, what she was staring at. But I think we can safely say 2019 is Year of the Horse.
Definitely Year of the Horse. I fully agree with that. You need to put that on the internet.
Because we've got like, I mean, the NFL draft was taken over by horses in the first round.
Yes, two of them.
We've had like surging rise of horse girls come back and do horse girls, scrunchies, astrology are very trendy things.
Very true.
And I'm like, okay, this is a little weird. So horse girls are back. Not really back, but like they are just being more made fun of than ever before. And then Arya sees his horse Very symbolic. So what some like symbolism did you see or like think about when you saw all that?
Well, the biggest thing that comes to mind is that it's directly from the four horsemen of the apocalypse, is that the death comes in on a pale horse. So most likely that's what we're supposed to be led to believe, is that now Arya is death, aka she's going to go kill Daenerys. Also, a little bit lighter, you could just be like, white means hope. So again, Arya is the hope,
Okay.
which, because she miraculously was the only human to survive that entire thing.
And she doesn't really have armor on. She's like has like heavy leather, doesn't she?
Yeah, it was stupid. It is ridiculous. I liked this episode in the fact that, like I said, it furthered some storylines. However, how all of those storylines were furthered was completely awful. All of it.
Yeah.
All of it. My favorite part, like my favorite scene, was kind of the same scene as yours, but not because it was cinematically beautiful, because it was so completely ridiculous when Cersei just scoots on by the Hound, like, excuse me, I'm just gonna slip on by here. You all go ahead and kill each other. Don't mind me, most evil human ever, but I'm just gonna sneak on by.
Yeah.
Like, what
Excuse
the fuck
me.
was that?
Excuse
What?
me.
Like, the Hound's
Why
just gonna be like, yeah, carry on.
he could have killed Cersei right then and there, ended it, and then got killed like he was going to anyways.
Yeah. And he knows that Arya came to this town to kill her. Like, why just. And that's after he sent Arya away, which was also a ridiculous scene when he was just like, uh, don't come in here because this building's falling apart. Like, I know you've spent 6 seasons, 9 seasons. Oh, what season are we on? I don't know. We spent like a decade chasing after Cersei to kill her, but this building's kind of not stable, so you better leave. And she's just like, okay, and leaves. Like, what is that? That really
I
pissed
know
me
you
off.
can't see me shaking my head in disbelief, but I'm just sitting here like, what? Like, you're 100% right. The laziness is, I think, what bothers me about this season, even though it wasn't lazy at all. Nothing about this show is lazy. It's just that there's so many dumb slip ups and things that don't make sense or don't add up. It seems
Yeah.
lazy. But once again, I don't know. I said this before and I got yelled at by my buddy Wade because I made everything about myself.
Hmm.
I go, this just reminds me, like, have you ever waited? Like, I brought it up again. I was like waiting 2 years to like hang out with somebody, or you think that you're finally like ready to like, you're going to have this amazing time and it's going to be the best experience ever. But it's like 2 years of waiting to hang out with like a toxic person that you've known
Right.
all along. It would not be a good fit for you. So basically, coach. And I made the comparison, and Wade's just like, way to make everything
It's
about you,
true.
Gat. But I'm like, it's so true. You don't understand the story. Bye. Megan would like this. I'll go talk to her. Leave me alone. It was great. But it's just
Yeah.
like the buildup was. I think the buildup is what has got everybody turning into fucking Roger Ebert. Like, you know, like, oh, let's fucking criticize this incredible like multi-million-dollar production because we're not getting what we want out of it. It's not fucking
Right.
Burger King. You can't have it your way all the time.
Right. But I mean, they know that they can fight it because they know that it's being taken on its own. Like, I would have happily waited 5 years for George to finish the book and then us build the show on that. Like, you're telling me that you can't put $1 million worth of your $80 bajillion budget towards forcing all of these people to sign contracts to say that in 5 years we will do the show?
Right.
No.
Or get can somebody light a fire under George R. Martin's giant fucking ass and say, finish the book, you
Well,
warlock.
I
What
think
else are you
I
doing?
mean, he's like us. Like, as soon as it got famous, which it did after, like, before this one was, while he was mid writing this one, it took off so much that it was no longer his.
Right.
And so, like, I don't think he's ever gonna finish it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, or maybe he will, but not until the hype dies down from this.
Well, that's what I would have secured. I would have, honest to God, as a writer of the show, I would have said, we will do this. We will make your book, your series, an absolute cinematic production. It's going to be the most talked about TV series of all time. We'll do
Hmm.
it. But you, while we're doing all this shit, need to finish the series. So by the time we're done, because I don't think they planned on it taking off like this,
Right.
we need to have a complete series. So part of your contract is while we're filming all this shit and getting it all ready to go, because the first seasons were still really, 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 really good. And they're
Right.
well made. So it's not like they didn't have a budget and all of a sudden, now they do. They've known about this.
Yeah.
So in order to prevent that happening, have him as part of this deal say you have to finish the book by 2020.
Right.
Something ridiculous. Because when they started it was like, what, 8 years ago? 9 years ago?
9 years ago.
He could have fucking finished it by now if that would have
I
been a priority.
I bet, and this would not, I don't know this for a fact, but I bet you it was part of the contract. And him being a diva that he is, because he is a diva, he said before the show even got made, when he was just writing this book, he said, I want to make you love the characters and then kill them off. Like, I want to make your favorite people die. So, like, I guarantee you, being the diva that he is, it was in his contract that he was supposed to finish this book. And he is saying, fuck it, and probably taking none of the royalties from the show just so that he can be a princess and get what he wants.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, the guy is set for life. He can eat at Golden Corral the rest of his days and be fine.
Yeah.
That's not a dig at. It's not a dig at his weight. I just think it's funny that he's like such a pain in the ass. He seems like a person that would enjoy being a pain in the ass, and
Yeah.
he's owning it. But you know, if you're not going to do something, if you're not going to finish it, if you're being a brat because of that, I maybe in the documentary that they're putting out about the whole production of it and how it almost like ruined people's lives and how this was like the most stressful fucking job they've ever taken on, but they loved every minute of it. I mean, TV work is not easy. Like the people that are doing the behind the scenes, the camera work, the editing, the producing of all this
Right.
shit, they deserve a lot of praise for the time they put in. It's not their fault that the plotline sucks.
Agreed. Agreed. And I mean, it's tricky as well. Like, finishing any series in a way that makes people happy is hard. There are not very many that go that way, and especially ones that are based on information that's already out there, so based on books that already exist. And I mean, it's their fault though. They didn't do their homework. Like, there's very clear prophecies that were in book one that they're just completely disregarding. So that was their choice, and they're getting the flack for it. The creators said that they are taking vacation next week and they are not looking at the internet. So they're running because they know that they fucked up.
They do. And, you know, what else they fucked up is basically other people's lives now, too, because their TV show, I mean, like every TV show, like anything major in pop culture, people are stupid. There are people that name their kids Tequila and Margarita because they think it's cute. Okay.
True.
They forget that these kids, and this is an honest to God true story. I was at Planned Parenthood getting birth control one day. They were both in there, Tequila and Margarita. I feel
Were
like
they sisters?
they were sisters getting
Oh, yes.
both getting procedures done that day, and I was like, oh, all right.
Wait, you can do other stuff in Planned Parenthood besides get abortion?
I know. I went there to get my birth
What?
control because I was a broke ass college student.
That's
Um,
not real.
It was crazy. It's crazy. And so Tequila and Margarita are, I mean, that's the new Khaleesi and fucking, what, I mean, Daenerys, like, or what do you get? Naming your kid Khaleesi is about the dumbest thing you could possibly do, but yet people keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like, do you name your
Khaleesi
kid?
is in the top 1,000 names for baby girls right now. 560 people last year were born Khaleesi.
So
Named
double that
Khaleesi.
amount of people that are the parents, obviously, and those people need to. I hate them.
Double those amount of people. I hate them.
I hate exactly that amount of people. I can't tell you how many that is because I can't do math. But double that amount, and I hate them, and I think they're idiots because you might as well just name your kid senator or congressman or honorary something like judge. Like, I mean, what the fuck? Khaleesi is a title. It's not a name.
Correct.
That's like
Correct.
naming your kid Mister.
Mister.
Like, this is my kid Mister, and so later in life he'll be Mister. Da 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 da. I mean, it's just so dumb. Daenerys is also a bad name. Arya, I kind of like. I like it just because she's not a dumbass, but like, every person you introduce yourself to for the rest of your godforsaken life is gonna be like, your parents are tools.
Right. Basically. Like, and it's a lot of people. It was 2,600 almost last year named Arya. And like, yes, that's a fairly normal name that not necessarily is named after this show, but you got to consider, I'm going to say a safe 2,000 of those are named after Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
conservative.
Very conservative. I don't understand people this dumb. And so, yes, Game of Thrones, you have changed so many things in history, TV history. You've done so many great things. I would take a vacation too.
Okay.
I would just say like the premiere is enough. Walk away from it. Like
Yeah,
once I make that much money doing anything, you will never see me again.
that's probably true.
I'm
I
with
probably
Biggie
would
and
do the same.
Tupac and gone.
Honestly, I'm cool with taking a vacation. I am okay with assuming that this show ended at this episode and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going to watch next week just because I am too much of a FOMO person to not watch it.
Yeah.
But I would be content just being like, and this was it. And now it's over.
Next week's gonna be funny because we have so many people in town, and like it's
Oh
literally gonna
God, I
be
forgot.
running to the airport, dropping people off at the airport, going home, and watching Game of Thrones, and they're gonna be stuck on a plane. I'm
That
like, sucks
sucks.
to suck, bro.
Sucks for not me.
But it'll be funny because like while I would normally be like on edge about like, oh my god, people traveling, I need to make sure they're okay because I'm such a fucking worry wart.
Yeah,
That now I'm gonna be like, haha, explosions, dragons, cool. One dragon,
it's
sorry,
okay.
one
Only
dragon.
one. Only one.
Spoiler alert.
I don't know who's going to inherit the dragon,
When
but
she inevitably dies, who's gonna kill her? Who's gonna kill her? You said Arya.
Arya's going to kill her, yeah.
In order for me to be happy, which I know this is not about,
hmm
Nathan's naming his kid Walter White Cosby. That would
Okay.
still be a better name than Khaleesi. You could name your kid Walt Jr. and it's not even a junior, and I'd be like, that's fine. I mean, he was a horrible character, but whatever. And
Right.
I'd be okay with it because they're still real names.
I would, yeah, like, I wanted to name my kid growing up. I wanted to name my kid Sloane after Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yes.
But, like, it would have been when I was an adult, which Ferris Bueller's Day Off would have come out, like, 25 years before. And, like you said, it's a normal name. It's not Khaleesi.
Yeah.
Like,
My nanny's name is Sloane, her real name.
really?
Hmm.
Was she named after Ferris Bueller?
She was
Probably
named
not.
after her dad's best friend that passed away because he's a firefighter.
Oh,
And
okay.
he died and like the same time she was born. And he was such like a hardworking, like never stopped ever. And he had the biggest heart, and so is she. And it's just kind of like they have this thing where it's like, oh, it's just Sloane reincarnated. I'm like, okay.
Aw,
I thought it was
that's
cute.
sweet.
I love that name though. I think it's unique without being weird.
Yeah.
Like
Which I'm not
Megan.
going to do
Megan's a
anymore.
very
It's cute.
unique name. Nobody
Ew,
else
no,
has
it's
that.
not.
Is that why you hate your name?
It's one of the reasons. My name was the number one name for like 7 years in a row around my birth. So everybody has it. I
That's
was in
incredible.
school with at least three every year in my same grade.
Really?
Yeah. So fuck
That's
that.
that would be really annoying for sure.
Yeah.
I never had another Grace or Gracie.
There was a million Megans, and it's just an ugly name.
I just don't know where it comes from. I'm like, okay, Megan.
It comes from Margaret, but I don't know how we got to Megan, honestly, but that's what it comes from.
That's amazing. Well, whatever. But I was
Which
named after
Margaret, also an ugly name, so sorry.
Margaret is a very old name. I have my grandma's name, R.I.P. was Marjorie, so that's a very old name, like old school name. But I think that's
It
also like a
is.
Margaret thing. But no, like I was named after my great aunt. Like it was not anything weird like a TV show. I feel like biblical names are what people have always stuck with, and then kind of started creating their own stuff, and that's fine. But it's just like name your kid after a character who has literally. I feel bad. Like that's the other thing we didn't talk about. Now you have this kid named Khaleesi or Daenerys or Danny or whatever, and the rest of their life, like they're gonna be the character. You don't know what's gonna happen, especially in Game of Thrones. Why would you name your kid that?
Yeah, agreed. It is silly. And even if you're hell-bent on doing it, when you could just name a dog, get a dog, name it ridiculous things. It's a dog. But if you're hell-bent on having it as your kid's name, put it as the middle name. Like, name them something normal,
Yeah,
and then their middle name can be Khaleesi for all I care.
yeah.
Like,
Just give them a chance. Give them a chance to work somewhere besides a call center, okay? Come on. I love call centers, by the way. I called into
well,
one
yeah,
today, and I was in the middle of a very stressful situation, and she talked to me about Jack Stack barbecue.
which doesn't help you.
It doesn't help me at all. I'm like, what the? Who? what incompetent level of training did you have to tell me where you live and also that you frequently go to places that are in my neighborhood? Go away.
Right. No. Go away, and also we have code names for people from Jack Stack.
Fuck boys.
Fuck
Yeah,
boy.
I decided today that Jack Stack is fucked by barbecue. So,
Did you see, speaking of code names, I was just talking to Dad Bod Tees about this
ooh,
because Dad Bod had a competition and the winner was one of our code names. The real person, not just like a code name like Coach.
really?
Yeah.
One of our code names.
I don't remember his code name, which is a problem, but it was
Can you give me a
AB.
hint?
AB.
Oh yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah,
Well, honestly, dad bods can probably write that off as donation to charity. So,
that's what I said.
congrats.
Yeah.
Congrats, you just helped clothe a homeless person.
Mhm.
That was mean of me. Oh well. The big like reveal though that I was waiting for was like how Cersei was gonna die. Speaking of
Mhm.
mean people, great transition there. Um, I wasn't happy. I don't think she's dead yet.
I don't think so either. If they were dead, I feel like they would have given us like a full on like
Explosion.
explosion or like them like buried under the rubble type of situation. There was nothing. I don't think they're dead yet either.
So my theory of Jamie still loving Brienne no matter what, is kind of like sidebarred for now. But I will say that no matter what, Jamie and Cersei will always have a weird, I mean, very weird bond. That I think that no matter how fucked up a person is, like
Hmm.
when somebody fucks up so bad that you don't recognize them anymore, but they're broken and you know they are, and it's like ultimate Captain Save-A-Ho time. She's pregnant with
It
another dude.
was.
Yeah, it was like, let's go in there. She's pregnant with my baby.
Hmm.
It's my sister. I mean, this is all very not normal in the normal world. Uh, and I'm gonna save her. You're gonna have emotions there because for your entire life, that's been your twin. So no
Yeah.
matter what happens, that is somebody you care about. So in a time where you are scared for your life and you have run away from the person that you're supposed to be serving, and you finally go home and you see that, I think he just kind of crumbled and it was a moment of weakness. He just killed, her lover or whatever.
Yeah.
And now he was like, okay, I'm gonna like he was gonna crumble and hold her and make her feel safe because no matter what, I think he still loves her even though he knows what she is.
I don't think he was going to kill her at all.
Really?
No.
So you were along the line of like Jamie still loves her and he doesn't give a fuck about Brienne.
Of course. I
Okay.
mean, he gave a fuck about Brienne. Like, I mean, he did love Brienne too, but like, when you're that broken of a person like Jamie was growing up, like he was an evil dude. Like, we like to pretend that he's good
Yeah,
because he
he
saved
was
Brienne
evil.
once, but he was evil for many seasons. Like, he was not a good guy. Um, when you're that broken for that long, you'd think that you don't deserve good, and Brienne was good and clean, like 100% clean. Um, so, like, once you get that good, you're like, I'm not worthy of this, and you just run, and you run back to what you know, and what he knows is Cersei.
Yeah.
So, I think he was coming back. I don't think he was coming back to rally her by any means. I think he was just going to do exactly what he was trying to do, which was get her out, and they would go live off on some island and be nobodies, forever.
Yeah.
Like, and be happy and in love, and that's what they were gonna do.
And so no,
So, no.
yeah.
But
No, I'm thinking that about that because like you make it sound like so obvious, like it was such a far stretch, but I feel like the way that the show kind of worked is that people, honest to God, just continued to believe that like that character has totally changed. Like, oh yeah, well Jamie's good now, so everything's gonna be fine. And like what Game of Thrones has taught us all along is do not get comfortable. So why are people this day and age, like at this finally at this point in the show, you think you're gonna be comfortable and have this cute little ending with Brienne and Jamie? Let's think about this command. I mean, I fell for it. I fell for that whole fan theory that Jamie was going to save them all and be like this valiant warrior that he always wanted to be.
mhm.
But he wasn't. He never was. But like the schematics of Jamie and Brienne together do not make sense. And I'm just
Right.
saying this, and it's just a casual observer. When one woman and one person is that much larger, and like, I don't know, like you're gonna like my everyday life would be difficult. Like you have to get a fucking shower like 10 times bigger than this person so they can shower properly. I mean, and then you have to worry about like, I don't know, fitting into things. Like I look at Brienne and I'm like, that would be a lot for Jamie. Jamie has not had to cater to anyone but himself forever. So I'm like, in the
Yeah.
reality of it, it wouldn't have worked out. Not saying that people can't be different sizes. I'm just saying that people that like generally their demeanors and the way that they like interacted would never work as like a relationship.
Right. Well, and it's just, it is real life, and people like to pretend that real life is not real, I guess. I don't know. Like, how many times have you, I know I have, gone after the guy that was the bad guy that you were gonna fix and make better, and you did, you thought, and then, you get far enough, and then he's like, yeah, but then this, and he goes, like, off with his ex, or he goes back to, like, somebody that's younger or whatever. Like, that's just real life. That's what happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot change somebody to fit what you need or what you think they are. And that's what she tried to do with Jamie, and that's not what Jamie is. So,
And realizing that is, I kind of tweeted. I wasn't tweeting about Brienne of Tarth. I promise. I wasn't subtweeting her when I said this morning, like men. I got really mad this morning when I woke up on Twitter, and I avoided Twitter. So if you tweeted and I didn't like some life changing news in the last like 12 hours, I was avoiding it because I just didn't want to deal with it. I started responding to goofy things because that's where I needed my mind space to be. But I get on there, and the first thing I get on and see on Twitter is men ain't shit.
hmm
All right, since you brought it up, dear Glitter, men ain't shit,
yes.
huh? Okay. Um, the reason that I get so angry at guys for being themselves is because I used to think the same way. They would give me every fucking sign imaginable to be like, I don't want a relationship with you, and this is nothing more than just us hanging out and banging.
hmm
I'm not ready for that. And I'd be like, oh my God, so you want to get married? Okay, great.
Right.
Let's be together forever. And that was
Right.
very young, dumb me, but I still tried. Just like you said, you still try. Like, I mean, I think you do it a couple times and you realize that it's exhausting and awful. So she dodged a bullet. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, men ain't shit is like the most annoying fucking phrase in the world. People ain't shit would be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Humans ain't shit. But I don't really like just the whole negative overlook towards any one specific person or type of person in general. So I'm like, I think people who wear visors are annoying, but I'm not gonna go around
Right.
and like just, I don't know. It just seems like such a fucking reach when the problem isn't with other people. The problem is always with you.
Yeah.
Like
You
if,
chose to go after that man that you knew was not on the same page.
I think in after the Tennessee trip was the moment that I realized like I know what I'm going to do because of who I am as a person. I'm going to go and like try to recover and bounce back from this with like a successful relationship. It'll totally happen. No, it
hmm
won't. Because I wasn't fixing myself. The problem was me, not anyone else. The problem was I needed to get out of my own head.
Right.
That's all you have to do. You just go work on yourself. Maybe don't fucking tell everyone, hey guys, I'm trying to be a better person because it's not for them. If you're going around telling people I'm trying to be a better person all the time, or this is what I'm doing all the time, chances are you're doing it for like validation of some sort.
Right.
I like being naked, so I just post selfies where I'm half naked. That's cool. Whatever you want to do. You are living your cosplay and gaming dreams, and I fully support it. I don't understand like the concept of like changing someone, pushing them into what you want them to do, and then being mad when they don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you're an idiot. Like, work on yourself first. And I think that's a lot of things like mid-20s area, like, would be a really good time for women to hear this. Like, don't blame men. I love men. I think that's a big problem of mine. Is that
Yeah.
men are my favorite. Like, I absolutely
Men are
love.
my favorite.
I love men. And I like women that are confident and that have something to offer besides talking about other people's bullshit and other people's problems. If you bring up 10 other people in the first like hour of me talking to you, I probably won't be your friend anymore. I want to get to know you as a person, not what you think about everyone else.
Right.
So yeah, I just think like they just stop using that phrase, men ain't shit. It's so horrible.
hmm
Like, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry that a guy didn't like tell you that you were beautiful because, you know, you walked by him, but you would get mad if he did tell you you're beautiful, and you complain about on the internet if a guy told you you were pretty. You'd be, oh my god, this creep just hit on me. So like,
Yeah.
you're not approachable, bitch. It's not that men ain't shit.
You're not
You're not really
approachable.
fun to be around.
That's true. That is true. Well, and it just the same thing where way back when you're 5 years old and they're like, can't is not in your dictionary or whatever stupid thing. Like,
Yeah,
you are putting negative thoughts in your head. So you're saying men ain't shit. So the next time you see a man and you're dating him, the first thing is you're going to think of is, how are you going to fuck me over? That's healthy.
that seems like a good way to go
Good
through
luck.
life. And I have this conversation with guy friends all the time because I don't, now that I'm number one like Zen person where I have to meditate or I murder people, um, I I will talk to people. I'm like, how are you doing like with this, and this? And they're like, oh, it's great, everything's fine. I'm like, all right, give me the topical shit, whatever. If that's what you want to
Right.
do, I can't help you. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna ask how you're feeling. But have you ever thought that instead of like just diving deep in the world of dating and pushing your problems on somebody else instead of taking care of them yourself, have you ever thought that that might be a little bit selfish, or why people don't like being around you because you're a burden?
Right.
And like, you can go through depressive issues, you can go through anxiety, and you can do it by letting people know, I'm not really in a good place right now. I'd love to be there, but I cannot be there in my current headspace.
Right.
You can tell them how you are doing without putting your baggage on somebody else to fix you. That's the one thing that I don't like dealing with, is like somebody else coming in saying, oh, well, I have a lot of baggage, I'm broken. No, you're using that as armor. You're using that as like a way to not get close to somebody to try to heal. And
Right.
it's fucked up. So like, it just, when I see people blaming an entire fucking gender for something, it's like when people say women are crazy and then you get mad about women are crazy, but yet you're just fulfilling it. So men ain't shit is not true. Men that, you know, fuck with people's emotions willingly and like do it for fun, and you know they have a like a wife and then like 20 side chicks and maybe a restaurant, you know, they're probably ain't shit. So if you're mad that a guy that is already married and doesn't want to be with you to begin with is not dating you,
Hmm.
and then you go and like try to ruin his life because he ain't shit, maybe think about the person that you're attracting, because you're not shit. Like,
True.
ugh, it bothers me so much. I'm like, don't blame guys. I'm like, oh, this guy was an asshole. What did he do? He didn't text me back. Oh,
Maybe you're
so
boring.
exactly. So that's my rant about the men ain't shit thing. Stop fucking saying it. If you say it, I'm sorry you're not getting laid, or you're angry about everything.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that even with the bullshit from yesterday, where I very much was very angry at one man,
Hmm.
at one specific human that I know ain't shit because I've been there, done that, and I don't fuck with him. I stopped because there's something happened mentally with him. I don't know what it was. But you just don't allow it in your life. And then I don't know. I was like, you are who you attract. I fully believe that.
Right.
And I attract some pretty crazy people, and I absolutely love it. So
I absolutely love
y'all are
it.
nuts. I had one just not attracting, but just even just as friends and stuff. I had somebody tweet out that I guess the thing that's going on right now is that Antonio Bryant tweeted out part two is coming soon, and like all these random cheese bloggers started following suit with like sources that Antonio Bryant is coming to Kansas City, and
Hmm.
Potter CM on Twitter said, "Until I hear Sprots tell us that he's at the Peanut, I don't believe shit."
That's awesome.
That right there is unbiased media
That is
influence.
beautiful.
Boom.
That is us.
That is
We will be
us.
there.
And I support the fact that you also love men and also have had experiences with men, and you can say full heartedly that you're not going around saying men ain't shit.
I am not saying men ain't shit. I definitely don't blame them for stuff they're done, as a whole, and I feel but no, they are definitely not to blame for my problems. Like, I mean, the whole Jamie Brienne thing, like, I did the same exact thing in college. Like, there was a guy that I was just convinced I was going to fix and make love me and want to date, and I forced him into a relationship. And what's the first thing he did? We went to a party together, and he cheated on me in front of my face at the party. Like 2 days into us being boyfriend and girlfriend, I was like, okay, you do not want to be in a relationship.
So how did his family
Got
take
it.
it when you killed him?
Yeah, well, See, he's the one still crawling after me now. So,
Yeah, so
uh,
fuck boy is not gender specific. Fuck boy, I don't like saying fuck girl because it sounds stupid. But
yeah,
fuck boys can be any walk of life. I've been a fuck boy before. I'm a fuck boy all the time. But
you are
that's I'm very obvious about it. I do not try to hide what I'm doing with my love life right now.
right, and that's fine.
Yeah, so fuck it, whatever.
Fuck it.
We did go way over what we were normally going to do. We did an Instagram live before the show because I left my computer on for 6 days and didn't restart it, so it was special.
Yay.
But we were talking a little bit some Thrones talk, but I think that like this is going to be an evolving issue, not necessarily like for the entire week. We're not just gonna keep talking about it, but as I watch it again, I'm gonna rewatch it. So if you guys didn't get enough Thrones talk, we can try to work some in.
Oh
We will
gosh,
get back to sports on Wednesday, but I mean, I don't know. I feel
we
like
talked about sports
we did, we did
earlier.
NASCAR.
It was
Woo.
it was half half.
Well, that's the
That was actually
thing.
more than half. We talked a long time about NASCAR and football. So shut up.
I want to give a shout out to the real hero of the day. I feel like we should give like Jackhole of the day, kind of like Andy does on Bravo's Watch What Happened Lives.
Okay,
And hero of the day. The hero of the day was the Uber driver that picked me up from your house.
that is true. What was his
Um,
name? I forgot already.
I want to say like Kyle or
It
something,
was
but
Kyle. Yeah, I think it
yeah.
was like boring.
But Kyle shows up in a very plush, very nice, smelled lovely Acura. The back seat was the most comfortable back seat I've ever been in, which is
Beautiful.
saying a lot. Um, and yeah, it was great, and he was silent the whole way. So I hope you gave him 5 stars.
I
Silent Kyle,
have not really rated him yet, but I will. Silent Kyle.
#1. I mean, I normally would have like talked his ear off, but I was just like, he's okay with being quiet, and that's unusual.
Dude, I didn't tell you this, but the entire, or maybe I did. I don't remember if I said it out loud. The entire ride to Oklahoma, when I went there, I went with a group of gamers.
Hmm.
They didn't listen to music and they didn't speak for like the whole 5 hours, and it was amazing.
That's incredible.
Like we talked a very little bit about gaming, but that was it. Like it wasn't like a forced like small talk kind of situation with kind of, I don't know, we're not strangers, but we're not like hanging out going to the movies together kind of friends.
Yeah, well, gaming
So,
to me seems very like not a lone sport, but when gaming communities do meet up, it is kind of magical to watch.
yeah,
'Cause
definitely.
it's I'm not saying y'all are awkward, but some of you can be.
Yeah, they can
Like
be.
any group, but the shyest people in the world, like getting on a stream and opening up and just like talking to all the people that they want to talk to. I think that's beautiful. That's the
Mhm.
good part to me about social media and technology is like people that would normally not be comfortable doing that kind of stuff, or I don't know, putting themselves out there. They can do it on the internet. So
Yeah.
whatever. I think it's awesome.
So whatever. All right, that was a random thing. So hero of the day is our Uber driver, Kyle.
What up, Kyle? And it's not like he was like listening to this amazing like Sam Smith radio mix. So it was
Okay.
like very soothing, and he had all the windows down. And today is a beautiful day for sunshine, vitamin D. Um, but yeah, I think that if you're in Kansas City, if you're lucky enough to fucking live here, which not a lot of people are, just a couple million,
Hmm.
go out and enjoy the day because it's gorgeous out.
Yep, definitely do that. We are going to. Somebody sent us a video that says 3 minutes of Game of Thrones cast members being disappointed with this season. So we're gonna retweet that on Sprots
Ooh.
Takes, and we'll get a clip up and everything for you guys shortly.
Yep. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back on Wednesday with the hottest of takes and maybe some Antonio Bryant news. You never know.
Yeah, maybe some Tyreek Hill stuff finally.
We don't know. We'll see what happens. All right,
Yeah.
guys.